Hey everyone, I'm Miss Polito. I am teaching 3D printing and design this year. I have period 4 and period 8, and I'm part of the tech wheel. It's the exploratory tech wheel that your student is taking this year. I wanted to just go ahead and talk a little bit about the class and what to expect this year. Even though your student will have 3 different teachers, I'm just one of 3 this year. Um, Before I get started, I want to give a thank you to the CDM Foundation boosters and PTA because without their support, truly this course would not be possible. Um, Anyhow, so 3D printing. Usually, when I'm in class with parents for back to school night, I'll ask a show of hands how many of you know what 3D printing is, and I would say it's probably half the class. Half the parents know what it is, and half of them don't. So I do like to do a little introduction video to kind of show parents just to get an idea of what it is. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll just play a really quick little video. What is 3D printing? It's a great visual.
3D printing technology is already changing the way we produce objects, from tools and toys to clothing and even body parts. 3D printing is part of a process known as additive manufacturing, where an object is created by adding material layer by layer. Additive manufacturing allows designers to create complex parts for machines, airplanes, and cars at a fraction of the cost and time of standard means like forging, molding, and sculpting. Now, smaller, consumer-friendly 3D printers are bringing additive manufacturing to homes and businesses. The first step in 3D printing is to create a blueprint of the object you want to print. You can use modeling software like Blender to create your own designs, or you can visit websites like Thingiverse or Shapeways to find objects other users have 3D modeled. Once you have a finished design, it's time to send it to the printer. Some printers, like the MakerBot Replicator 2, have renewable bioplastic spooled in the back of the device, almost like a string. When the printer receives the data, it pulls the material through a tube, melts it, and deposits it to the plate where it instantly cools. As you can see, the 3D object is created through layering, where the printer will add one layer of the object at a time until you have a fully formed structure. The most common material used in 3D printing is plastic, but the use of some other materials allow for the creation of some pretty amazing products beyond simple tools and toys. 3D printing food is becoming very popular, and additive manufacturing has allowed for the creation of some pretty intricate treats. In the medical world, doctors are testing biomaterials for regenerative medicine. By using a patient's cells, doctors could 3D print small body parts like ears and noses. Some surgeons have even tested 3D printed organs for transplants. Recently, giant 3D printers in China printed 10 houses in just one day, and at a cost of less than
Sorry, didn't mean to do that.
$5,000 per house, proving just how cost and time-efficient 3D printing can be.
Okay, so that's a little preview of what it is, kind of an overall preview. I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing here in the exploratory tech wheel in middle school. So it's an elective course. Your student will rotate through 3 different courses in technology every 12 weeks. Okay, so kind of a little bit past the first quarter. In October, they will go to their next teacher to be determined. It's either going to be coding or with Mr. Garrett or engineering and robotics with Miss Darnell. So it could be engineering and robotics or coding, and I won't know until we get a little more information. I'll probably know in a couple weeks what the rotation will be. So they get a really nice introduction to technology, really, truly, that sets them up, nicely for high school. In high school, we have so many options. Right now, we have technology offered in 8th grade as well. It's another tech wheel, and it's just more of the same. A little bit more robotics. But in high school, we have just fantastic opportunities for your student if they really like technology. We have a whole, engineering and robotics and design pathway. We have which is just with Miss Darnell, which is amazing. We have a computer science, and cybersecurity pathway. So really, there's just great stuff for your student if they kind of like it, if they enjoy it. They can continue on in the high school, which is great. So I wanted to kind of just talk to you about, what we're using in the class. So we're using CAD. So students will learn how to use CAD applications and software to make physical objects from three-dimensional models. Obviously, I don't have my printer here and I can't print their designs right now, but once we get back into class, I should be able to print some of the designs that they have done models for. They've already started designing, which is amazing. They're doing great. Students will also learn about various materials and processes involved in 3D printing, and yes, they will be able to print their finished designs. In my class, I have an Airwolf 3D printer, which is more of an industrial. I can Google search it for you here. So Airwolf 3D printer. I have an Axiom. Okay. So I have an Axiom in class 3D printer. Let's just do some images here so you can see what it looks like. So, it's more industrial. It's pricey. It's 3-4 grand. This is just what I have in the classroom. But at home, I was telling the kids if they really like 3D printing, they absolutely can go on to Amazon and just get they can go on and get an Amazon 3D printer, a kit. It's like $200. I mean, they're smaller, but really, truly, they do the same thing. And I've had kids, we built one in my club last year. We built a little printer like this, 3D printer kit, which is nice. It gives you the instructions. It tells you how to build it. You can build it from scratch, and they're super cheap, like anywhere from like 150 to 250. You can get a really good printer for home for the kids. And then they'll use their skills that they learned in my class and they can make their own stuff at home, which is really cool. You don't need to spend tons and tons of money if this is something they like and they want to kind of continue in the future. So that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. And if you have questions, you can always ask me. The materials that we use in class, like you saw in the video, my printer can handle 40 different types of materials, but the main ones that we use in my class are ABS, which is just plastic, PLA, which is plastic, and TPE, which is more like a rubbery, kind of like a football squishy texture. So we can play around with that kind of design. ABS is what Legos are made out of. So it's kind of like that material, Lego material. And then the PLA is, it was really better for the environment. I like to print with PLA because it's made from corn, so it's biodegradable. It doesn't sit in a landfill forever. It's made from corn, and it smells really good. It smells like sweet corn when you print. So I personally like to do more PLA. I just feel better about that overall. I wanted to share with you some student work, so you can kind of see what the kids are doing. Everything. Oh, you know what? Let me back up here. Shoot, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So Airwolf is the printer we use. Tinkercad is Autodesk is a company that makes 3D design software. They're famous in the engineering world and design world, and they make this wonderful introductory program for schools and for kids to learn, and it's called Tinkercad. And so that is what we are designing with in class. So I'll just show you my Tinkercad, for example. I pulled some kids. These are all kids' designs that you're seeing right here from, that we've done from last year. So, I mean, it's just incredible. This fire station, for example, you can see the detail, even though this is just, an introductory CAD design software, it really is great because the kids get an idea of just how to 3D design, how to use the software, and you're building with shapes. So it's just a really great introduction to CAD. And then as they move on in their designing, they'll go into more industrial things like SolidWorks and like Autodesk makes some other programs like Maya and Fusion 360. So I mean, just this is incredible here at Taj Mahal. Alisher, I have a student from last year who, I mean, we watched him do this in class. He just loved it. And I put this live on the screen and we watched him build the Taj Mahal. It was really, really cool. It's just fantastic, some of the work these kids do. So right now, I'm using, let me go back to the slides here. I'm trying to keep this video under 10 minutes and I don't know where I'm at. So sorry, wrong slides here. I think I left my slides somewhere way back here. Let's see if I can get back to them. Let me pause it while I find my slides. Hang on. Recorded now? I hope I am. Okay, so now I'm back. I unpaused it. Yep. I'll try to make this a little, wrap this up because I'm at 9 minutes right now. I wanted to just show you some of the work, some of the stuff that the kids actually print. Okay, so we'll just do, these were some yearbook pics from last year that I had for the kids. So right now they've already designed a name tag. I've already done that. I'll print that out when we get back to class. You might have seen that. We'll be doing a city design. We did a phone stand where the kids measure their phone, they create their own phone stand. We did a city design. These are just original designs. They measure all the dimensions of their phone and they create their own phone stand from scratch, which is like the best thing ever. This is a little princess chair that she made, which was like the perfect, pink PLA, which was great. And then we also do replicas. So I'll take like Peter Shire's a famous artist from LA, and he's famous for teacups and pots and modern art. And so we will try to replicate some, famous artists, designs. So another phone stand with a little headset. I mean, super just adorable. This is a tribute to Kobe that one of my students did last year. So that is 3D. And then the last thing, Apex is just another software we use to talk to the printer and then to get the designs from CAD to the printer. And then Google Classroom, everything is on Google Classroom. So these are the assignments on Google Classroom. I will be posting grades on Google Classroom. I won't be using Schoology for anything, only to publish progress report and report card grades. Okay, so progress report and report card grades, you're just going to see like the grade. I think it's at 5.5 weeks we do progress reports, and then at the quarter we'll do the other report card. So in the meantime, all their grades are here on Google Classroom. How do you get to it? Well, you need to get your students NMUSD credentials, which is their ID number at nmusd.us, and then their district provided password. You log in on, so like if you were to go to Google, okay, and then up here, so anyhow, so you need to make sure that that the student is logged in with their NMUSD Google account. Mine has my name, theirs won't. It will be their ID number. That's the only way you personally can see their Google Classroom. So when you go on to Google Classroom, the way to check their grade in the class is to you don't see it on any of mine because I'm not in a class. Okay, it's this little person right here. So this little, at the beginning, you'll see every class has one of these. And if you click on it, for example, I'll do this one. If you click on it, it'll have, this one doesn't have it because this is just something that we have at school, but it'll have an overall grade and it'll show you their grades. Okay, so that's how you get to their grades. And then ultimately at the quarter and the semester and the progress reports, I'll put something on Schoology, but all of their actual grades are on Google Classroom. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope if you have any questions, you can always just email me. Okay, you can do that through regular email, which is spolito@nmusd.us, which is right here. That's my email address. Or you can just do it through Schoology as well. All those emails from Schoology do come to my Newport Mesa mail, so I can respond to either way. Okay, have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Good night.